What's up, everybody? This is another episode of the Toy Photographers Podcast. We have an action-packed episode for you today, guys. We have the one, the only Mr. Justin Pierce on the other line. How's it going, man? How you doing today?
Great. How are you, Dakota?
Man, I'm doing good. Like I said before we hit record, I'm so excited that you're sitting down with me and having a conversation, man. I'm a big fan of your account. I'm a big fan of everything you do. So this is going to be a joy for me to be able to get to kind of know you a little bit more and be able to have conversation about toy photography, dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm super excited to do this with you.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'm curious, how long have you been doing toy photography for?
It's been about 2.5 years since I started. I posted. I think the first one was in July of 2017.
Okay.
That was the first post that I ever put up on Instagram.
So about 2 years ago, you said?
Yeah, about two and a half years.
Okay. So did you start out 2.5 years or did you start before and then start posting 2.5 years ago? Like what
With
was,
with toy photography, I started 2.5 years ago. I'd done astrophotography for a long time. I did that for years, and then landscapes, things like that. So I've always been into photography, but toy photography, I saw. I think it was a post actually by Hot Kenobi, and that was just like I want to do that. Like
how did you see it? Like, did you just kind of like were scrolling on were you just scrolling on that? You saw that? How did you see it?
when I actually I didn't see that. I didn't even have an Instagram at the time. I saw a picture of his on in a Google image. I was looking through. I forget what figure it was for. Maybe an Iron Man hot toy. It was something that I was looking into buying, and I happened to see one of his pictures, and I was like, "There's no way that that's a toy photograph, a toy photograph." And I was like, "Man, I just thought it was incredible, and wanted to start doing that." So started posing up some figures, and was terrible at it at first, and just went from there.
Nice. Did you collect figures before you started doing the toy photography, or did that all kind of start at once?
I did. I did collect figures before. Nothing to the extent that I do now. Yeah, I didn't have very much back then. And then once I started doing toy photography, that's when that kind of blew up.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely can sympathize with that. Like, didn't really realize how much of a cost a giant thing that would be in my life too. Like it's very consuming.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
so you said Hot Kenobi was one of your biggest inspirations. Who else did you kind of like at the beginning when you started 2.5 years ago look up to and want to give a shout out to as inspiration for your account, and maybe want to give them a little bit of a shout out and just say, hey, you inspired me.
Oh man, once I got started in it, and started like seeing how many like toy photographers there were on Instagram or are on Instagram. Before I had it, I had no idea that there were that many people doing it. And I saw, you know, Sergeant Bananas and Shake 'em 78 and Plastic Action and Nose Rain and Mitchell Wu and all those guys. And I was like, man, this is incredible. And yeah, it really started there. And yeah, those guys, I mean, I've messaged those guys before, would have had questions about, certain things that they've done in shots and certain things that I wanted to do. And they've all been like super helpful to me, super positive experience with literally everybody I've come in contact with, whether it's, I met up with Shakem 78 a few times and we shot, and then everybody else has been through, DMs, but the experience has been awesome.
That's awesome, dude. So where do you live? Like what part of the country do you live?
I live in Massachusetts,
Okay.
probably
So
about,
you're East Coast.
yeah, East Coast, probably 20 miles from Boston.
Gotcha. Nice. So is I guess Shakem does he live on the East Coast too then? Like how did you meet
Yeah.
up?
He lives in New Hampshire, and we met through here. He was one of the first people that actually followed me. One of the first people that I actually talked to and got a lot of advice from. And he was always willing to help me out. And we just decided one day that we lived pretty close to each other. It's only like a 40-minute drive, so we started hanging out and shooting photos together, and he's been awesome.
That is so cool, dude. So since you have that background, you said you did astrophotography, you did landscape,
Yep.
you have that background in photography. Do you feel like that gave you an advantage approaching toy photography? Like, how do you feel like your photos have changed since you first began?
Somewhat. maybe a little bit of an advantage because with astrophotography you're shooting in low light all the time, so I kind of had that the low light part down, which helped out. But toy photography, posing the toys, lighting the toys, setting them up, building or having people build dioramas or buying props and things like that, it's totally different. So it was and still is super hard, and I mess things up all the time doing it. And I see stuff in my work all the time. I'll post a photo that I like, and then 2 days later, you're going back, going through comments and replying to people, and you keep seeing the same photo over and over. I grow to, see things in it I either don't like or I don't like the photo. I was actually listening to you and Tom, and you were talking about archiving posts, and I didn't even know that that existed, that you could archive a post. I actually just would go in and I'd delete them, like ones I didn't
Oh.
like. So I've deleted so many photos, and there's a lot on there that I'd like to delete now. But after listening to you and him and his perspective on it, I think I'm just gonna from now forward leave them on there and just kind of document where I started and where I end up.
That is awesome, dude. I'm actually doing the same thing. Once I started talking to Tom and realizing he did that too, to kind of use it as an inspiration for, okay, this is where I'm from. This is the journey. This is the progress I've made. And now I'm doing the same thing. I archived like over 300 posts, dude. So I went back and I unarchived them and now they're back on my page. So I like jumped from like 400 to 700 posts, and yeah, a lot of them I'm not happy with. A lot of them that are cringeworthy, but
Right.
it's part of the journey. It's part of the
Yeah,
process.
absolutely. Yeah.
I love that, dude. I love that you're doing that. That's awesome because it's a journey. And if
Yeah.
you're ashamed of where you came from, then maybe, it's hard to appreciate where you're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, you could start out and, I mean, if you started doing it today, your 100% today is gonna be very different than your 100%, a month from now or a year from now. You're gonna change, you're gonna learn things, you're gonna evolve, and it's cool to show that and, let people that are, just starting out know that, if you keep going and if you keep, trying to learn new things and just get better, you end up getting better.
yeah, that is so true, dude. I love your account, man. I love
Thank you.
one of the things that I love about yours is kind of the mantra that I use for this podcast, which is we are storytellers. Whenever I see your post, there's always a story element. There's always something that's happening that I feel like there's something more happening outside of the shot. Like there's a story being told, and this is just a freeze frame of the story that's happening. And
Thanks,
so
man. I've been
I
trying to work on that a lot, lately, trying to do that more. Because before I didn't. I would just kinda pose up a figure and there'd be no real story there. It'd just be, a pose and with almost no lighting when I first started. I just use like a window or something like that.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I appreciate it, man, and that's something I strive to do now too. I don't always achieve it. Sometimes I just the time frame that I have, I will not take as much time as I want to take just because of my time crunch, and I'll just post
Right.
like a portrait or I'll post something like that. So I'm always appreciative of people that take like yourself the extra time to go the distance and put a shot out that's like there's a lot of depth to it. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of storytelling. So that's something I want to give you a big kudos for.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been trying to do that a lot more, lately and, come up with kind of, some concepts and whatever to, kinda convey a story a little bit more. 'Cause I think that's important in toy photography because you kind of keep bringing these figures to life in a way and, trying to get them to look real and yeah, it helps when you can tell a story. Definitely makes it a little bit more
It
captivating,
does.
I think.
So how do you approach toy photography, man? Is this like a hobby for you? Is this like a creative outlet? Like what is your end goal with toy photography?
It's definitely a creative outlet. I enjoy, just kind of playing with the figures and posing them, and sometimes I just do that. Like if I'm watching TV, it's late at night, and I'll just grab a figure off the shelf and I'll start messing with it a little bit. And sometimes you get ideas from that, or ideas for other figures that might move in the same way as the one you're playing with. And I guess I don't. It's more of a creative outlet for me. I kind of pushed myself to get on some sort of social media like 2.5 years ago. I didn't really have any. I had a Facebook a long time ago and deleted it, and I just wanted to do something that was a little bit uncomfortable for me, which is putting something, creative out there for people to see. And I mean, you never know how people are going to respond, and if they're going to like your stuff. And it's always nice when they do, but very uncomfortable for me at first. So I'm glad I did it. I definitely created an Instagram to have that creative outlet where I could just put something out there for people to see and hopefully enjoy.
Well, I definitely enjoy it. I'm glad that you did it, man, because
Thanks, man.
it inspires me a lot. I love your Lord of the Rings stuff that you do. I'm right now looking at your shots, and the one I've got pulled up is the Frodo and Sam at like Mount Doom, and there's like
That's
I love
that's
that
one of the
shot, dude.
that's one of the ones I want to delete.
What?
Yeah,
No, dude, don't do it.
I'm not even joking. Yeah, I think just the lighting on that one's a little bit too harsh, a little bit saturated.
Stop. Stop it right now.
I'm
No.
I'm a terrible critic of my own stuff. I still kind of feel when people say that they like it, I'm like, oh, how do you like my stuff? I don't like my stuff that much.
Well, I do, man. I really do. I The thing about like toy photography, and I think us, because I'm hypercritical of my things, of my shots
Yeah,
too. And I think everybody is being an artist can be
definitely.
critical. And there's people who are more critical than others. And I feel I lean towards the more critical.
Yep.
So I feel like we have that connection and we definitely look at it the same way. But what I was going to say is that toy photography, it's all about the emotion that comes from seeing those shots. Like that, when I saw that Frodo and Sam shot, that brought me back, like to that moment that I was in the theater seeing Return of the King, and I was like, oh man, it was like, yeah, like okay, like you maybe, I don't know, dude. Maybe your lighting could just be a little bit better. I don't know. I'm not even saying could be because it's a perfect shot to me because it brings that emotion. And so, like with toy photography, if the emotion is there and you get that callback to that moment, it's like, oh man, that to me, like I just wanted to frame it whenever I saw it. I was like, that is perfect.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that because that's exactly what I try to achieve with them. I try and make people feel something, or maybe if it's a figure that they've liked, or a character where they like the story and they find that character compelling. I like to try and at least make them feel something with it, and that's what I hope to do with every shot. So I'm actually pumped that you said that. That's awesome.
Oh man, I'm such a big Lord of the Rings fan. It's something that I don't even have on my radar right now. But whenever I see a shot, like one of my favorite shots was from Bobasaurus, and he did one with just like the Anduril. Did you see that shot where he did like the sword of Anduril, and it's
I
just
don't
like,
I don't remember.
oh man,
Was it
I will
recent?
send it. I will send it to you. And just the sword, just the way his lighting, like I just love Lord of the Rings. Whenever I see a shot, I get so hyped. So
Right.
I got to get some Lord of the Ring figures someday and be able to start shooting.
Yeah, I do follow him, and I'm a huge fan of his work, so I probably did. I just can't remember if it was something recent or something in the past.
It was, I want to say it was like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, I probably saw it and just didn't don't remember seeing it.
Whenever I like really love someone's stuff, I try to put it on notifications. Otherwise, I'll miss their shots, and I hate when Instagram, like the algorithm, will not allow you to see stuff, and sometimes I miss it. But
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that happens a lot.
are you more interested in like the shooting or like the posting? Because I know a lot of people have different opinions. Some people like to do both. Some people like one or the other. Are you interested in like the shooting process, or are you interested in like the posting process?
I like the shooting process the most. Because like I said before, I'm super critical of my stuff. So once it's out there, it's like once it's posted, that's where I end up starting to really look at it and really critique it. And it does offer a learning experience for future shots. But yeah, I definitely like creating them and setting up the shots way more.
Nice. How long does it take for you to get a shot that's like in your head till you shoot it and then you're ready to post it? Like how long is that time frame?
It depends on the shot, I think. Usually, like if I'm setting up like a diorama in on my desk, or something like that, that takes a bit longer. And you might set it up first and then go to your camera, and things might need to be moved a little bit closer, or the angle's not right. So that can take me sometimes an hour or two to just set up. And then when I take a ton of photos, like usually in the hundreds of, like,
Wow.
even the same thing just over and over to try and get that. If you're using like an atmosphere aerosol, or some sort of effect in the shot, like I try and take a bunch just so I have if one jumps out at me while I'm shooting, I'll really look at that one, and that might be the one. But I like the option to have a bunch in there to choose from, and maybe a couple to make a composite of. If if there's three that I have that I like different pieces of each one, I might stack those in Photoshop and then blend them together to kind of make just one photo with all the elements I liked in those three, but kind of highlighted. But then the editing sometimes that can take a while. I've been trying to use Photoshop more now because I was pretty bad with Photoshop. I'm still pretty bad with Photoshop, but I try and focus more on my weaknesses just so then they can become strengths later on.
Nice.
I try and double down on those, but so I've been doing a little bit more Photoshop, like lighting up eyes and lightsabers when I do Star Wars, which I don't really do that much anymore. I should break those figures out. So yeah, the editing can take a while. Sometimes it's quick. I've had photos probably take me from start to finish, an hour, and then ones that were, 8 hours, 10 hours.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know. That's dedication, man. So you do it consecutively, or do you, like, break it up and be like, "Okay, I'm gonna, like, spend an hour editing and I'll come back to it?"
What I try and do is I try to shoot Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays because Wednesdays are like my rest days from working out. I do go for a run that night, but like it's pretty short and I'm home earlier, so I can I have more time to shoot. So I shoot on those 3 days usually, and I'll write down ideas that I might have for those days, and then I'll try and shoot maybe one or two shots on a Wednesday, maybe two or three if I have a good amount of ideas. Sometimes they don't work out, and you just kind of scrap one or come back to it later on. And then I try and do at least one or two on Sundays, and then after I'm done shooting those days, I'll go straight to editing, and then
Mm.
maybe I'll only get one done that night. It's a little easier, like shooting the 3 days. I can edit on the other days. When I come home and I'm done working out, I can work on a photo or whatever after I'm done eating dinner.
Do you feel like having that structure, like, being able to shoot those days that you set aside, having that structure helps, or does that hurt you?
I think it helps because I used to try and shoot a photo every day and then edit it and kind of post it that day. That's how I started off, and I felt like that was more rushed. With setting aside specific time to shoot, if I have the ideas there, I think setting aside the time to shoot, you could spend a little bit more time on your setup and your lighting, and then you can spend a little bit more time on your editing and developing the photo and trying to make it look as good as you can. Like I've just now started to do that over the past probably 6 months. So I'm trying to make my photos a lot less rushed so that you can, it'll reflect in the photo, I hope.
Oh, it does, man, it does. That's something that I wanna work on is dedicating days like you're doing, and I've been thinking about it, so that's something I need to do, and I kind of just on a whim will like, "Oh, I guess I'm gonna shoot." And if I know Scott Blind does this, he has dedicated times that he shoots, and now knowing that you do it too, I'm definitely gonna start doing this because I think as an artist, it's not a limitation really, but if you look at it as, "Okay, I have a window of time where I can shoot, I have a window of time and I can edit, and I'm gonna put all my creative energy into that time instead of just waiting for the moment to hit," it almost kind of forces you to be creative, and then you produce better art than you
Right.
might have done just kinda waiting for that inspiration to hit you.
Exactly. And then on the other days where I'm not shooting, that's when I try and come up with ideas for shots. And like I'll even if I'm not shooting that night, like after I'm done, I get home from work, like I might set the shot up and see how it looks, see what I need to tweak, see if the figure actually moves in the way that I want it to, if the articulation's there. Um, and that way you kind of you kind of know what you're getting into on the days where you're going to put the time into it that you dedicated for for shooting. So
Yeah,
I think that helps a lot because it's definitely a lot less rushed than I was doing it before.
that is awesome. Do you shoot, indoor and outdoor? Like, do you have a preference?
Uh, when I first started, I shot completely outdoors. I didn't have any lighting or anything like that, and now I shoot pretty much indoors only. Like, I mean,
Wow.
I will shoot outside if I have an idea that, requires me to shoot outside, but a lot of times, like, I'll bring sand inside. I'll get rocks from outside or sand from outside and, different things from outside, and I'll actually bring them in just because you have a little bit more control. Like, if it's windy out, you know how that goes. If you're outside,
Mhm.
a figure on a wire or something, and it's windy, it's good luck. And then, you could control the lighting. Yeah, you can control the whole environment inside, really. So
Yeah.
I do a lot of shooting inside now. Once I got over that like fear of lighting, and I definitely think I still need a lot of work with lighting, but once you just kind of dive into it, it becomes a lot easier and it gets a lot less scary.
That is so cool, dude. I definitely love shooting indoors now because I did the same thing. I started shooting outdoors. I used to live on a tiny house on a property where there was like, 10 acres. I was just outdoors shooting stuff and I didn't use any dioramas. I didn't use any indoor props or anything like that. And now that I pretty much exclusively shoot inside too. So I can agree with you on that statement, that sentiment that you have so many more. I feel like it frees you up to be able to get more creative because you can keep the setup. You don't have to have it like a limited time frame where you got to worry about the sun, where the sun at,
Right.
and all of those variables that kind of goes into shooting outdoors. Now, don't get me wrong, if you have an outdoor shot that's like sometimes those are like the most stunning shots because you have
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
atmosphere and like the just the connectedness to the real world, that element too. But I think I prefer shooting indoors now too.
Yeah, I love it. I love shooting inside. Just the control over everything is really nice. I still get a little frustrated sometimes though.
Oh
All
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And also sometimes budget constraints too. It's like I wish I had like 20 loom cubes to be able to do some of the things that I want to do.
Right.
But
Exactly.
just work with what you got.
Yeah, I used to use when I first started doing like lighting on inside, I used to use like flashlights I had lying around. They're a bit harsh, but
Oh,
you
I
put a
do
piece
too.
yeah, you put a piece of paper over them as like a little diffuser and you're good to
Mhm.
go.
Oh, for sure, dude. I've done
Yeah.
that so many times. I've sometimes used like table lamps. I've used like flashlight. That I use all kinds of different stuff, man. And that just being able to get kind of creative and learning lighting. Like lighting is everything in toy photography. Lighting is you could have just a boring shot, but if you light it right, it'll be amazing. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it
saying?
brings it to life. Yeah, completely brings it alive.
It does. It
Yep.
really does.
Yeah, I definitely think lighting and posing are my two things that I try and focus the most time on with setup. Definitely.
Nice. I know you love the Mezco stuff. I
Yeah.
know you love the 112 Collective. Is that your favorite line of figures to shoot? And if not, what is?
It definitely is. It definitely is now. I used to shoot. Well, I not didn't used to shoot them a lot, but I have quite a few Hot Toys and 1/6 scale figures. But I just found them a little bit more difficult to shoot. And there's a lot of dudes out there that do it so well with the 6 scale stuff. But
Mhm.
I ended up always just doing portraits, and you need like a lot of room and huge dios, or a lot of room outside, or you gotta, worry about. I did a shot with a Hot Toys Star Lord one time, and I used a one of those crackling balls in it. I actually burnt his shirt. So
Ah.
yeah, a lot of people will love that. But yes, no, the Mezco 112 are definitely my favorite now. I think they're perfect size for um for toy photography, and they have definitely enough articulation to be able to do pretty much anything you need them to.
I totally agree. I think the Mezco 112 Collective, if it's not the best, like 112 scale, it is one of the best,
I agree with you 100%.
I just think that within, like, the next 10 years, I'm curious to see what they're gonna do, like, because they're a relatively new company. They've
Right.
only been doing this line of figures for, like, the last 4 or 5 years, I believe. So, it's relatively new, but it's so celebrated and so entrenched in the culture now, it's almost like it's synonymous with toy photography when you think,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
toy photography, you think Mezco. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. I think that Batman figure, they had like a black and white one. I think that was the first 112.
yeah.
I think. I could be way wrong, but I think
I
that's
I think I think well, they had the Dark Knight Returns, the
yeah.
regular black and gray, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, I
I
think
could
yeah, they had one that was in a black and white box that was because they have the black and gray, and then there was one I think that was limited to like something like 400 pieces, and it was just black and white.
being the 112 collective feature page, I should probably know that, but I don't.
I don't know how available it even was. I saw it actually on Mezco's website. That's where I was looking at that figure was one of my favorites, the Dark Knight Returns figure.
Yeah.
Took me forever to track one of those down at a price that I was willing to pay, but I finally got one a month or two ago.
Nice.
Yeah, the PX exclusive, the blue, the the brighter blue one, not the navy blue.
Yeah, he's a little easier to track down than some of
Yeah,
the other ones. There's
yeah,
some that are like, there's one that's limited to like 100 pieces, and that one goes for like 5 grand or something
yeah.
stupid.
That's probably that black. That's probably that black and white one.
It probably is. Like it, and then there's like one that was like, I think a Puerto Rico Comic Con exclusive,
Man,
and that
man.
one's really limited too.
Yeah, I'm definitely all set with the one I have. That cost me enough.
Yeah, for sure. And also with them coming out with that new Batman, the what's it? That's not Sovereign. It's the new one. What's the one that's coming out?
I'm
It's
not
like
sure.
the Dark Knight Returns style, but it's like the ending of the trilogy one that they're doing.
I know one of the last ones was the Sovereign Knight, right? That was the one that came out.
Yeah, they have the Sovereign. That one's out, but they have a pre-order up for the what is the word for it? Oh my gosh. I gotta look it up. Okay.
Yeah,
Give me
I'm
two.
not sure.
I'm gonna look it up. That's gonna bug me. But yeah,
Yeah,
dude, I think Mezco, if they would realize, and maybe they do realize this, but if they would go back and they would just update some of their classic figures, like go back and like re-release Superman, but like do it with like better articulation or re-release Captain America, like that stuff would still sell out. Like you don't have to do a massive pre-order. Like you could just do like a 2 or 3 thousand piece run, and
oh yeah,
there's enough people out there
that
that
would
would
sell
buy
out.
it.
That would
Yeah,
sell out in a few minutes.
I know, dude, and I don't understand him and why he thinks the way he does. As much as I respect his company and I know that he's got a great business model, I just never understood why he won't do reissues. But
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe
I don't
one
know.
day, maybe he'll do like a anniversary special where he'll just go and like take 1 year and just do reissues.
Right. Yeah, I know a lot of people that would want that Punisher.
Oh,
That
I know, dude.
that's one of my favorites. I like that one.
Punisher, Shazam, like all of the original stuff that they did. Okay, so I found it. It's the Supreme Knight.
Oh yeah, that's was that the one that came with Black Mask?
No, that's
No.
the exclusive. That's the Sovereign, but it's like a different version of the Sovereign. This is the one that he's older, he's like chiseled and like looks
Oh, okay.
beefy. He's he's got like a lot of armor plating on his costume. He
I don't
looks
even know if
real.
I've seen that one yet.
Yeah, he looks really good. That one might be the best Batman yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one yet. I probably shouldn't. I need to start not spending so much money.
Well, you've got time to think about it. It comes out
Right.
like next summer, so let's see. Yeah, it's available of course at onestoptoyshop.com for pre-order. So if anybody wants to pre-order, you can at onestoptoyshop.com. Nice little plug there. Okay, so back to the episode, man. I got distracted. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's cool. Get this as distracted as you want.
Dude, especially when it comes to Mezco, they can easily distract you.
Oh yeah, they distract me every day.
Where do you want to be in 10 years, like as a toy photographer? Like, where do you see yourself going? Like, is this something that you want to keep as a hobby, or is this something that maybe if the door opened one day to do something different, like would you do it? Like what is your kind of end goal with toy photography?
I definitely see doing toy photography, continuing to do it. I love it. It's an awesome outlet. The people are that I've met anyways are super positive. It's a great way to be creative. I mean, I do other types of photography now as well. So I mean, you can do pretty much whatever you want. So I'd definitely still be doing it. I hope to be doing it in 10 years.
Do it. Do it. I hope you are, man. I
I hope
think
so too.
I think it'd be really cool to like get all of the people that have been doing it for a long time and everybody have their own book, like art book. Like Sergeant Bananas has his.
Yeah,
Like I
he's a good
love
one.
that. I want to get everybody's book eventually.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
The
little
people
tabletop books.
because Exclude does amazing stuff. Like they do
Yeah.
their like uh but it's hard to be able to get like a tabletop of like, say like just all of your biggest favorite accounts. Like I would love to have like one of all the people that I really look up to and maybe one day we can work on that or do a Kickstarter and try to do something like that.
Absolutely. That'd be awesome. There's a lot of books I'd buy.
Me too, man. I'd have like my whole house filled with just toy photography books and just
Right.
like I've already got like a bunch of I've got the C3P Bros. They sent me some pictures and I've got some hung up on my wall, but I feel like it's just not enough, you know. I need more. I need more representation in my house of toy photography.
Oh, I'll send you some stuff. Just let me know what you want.
What?
Yeah,
Dude,
why not?
thank you, man. Yeah, I will take you up on that for sure. And if you want anything from me, let me know.
Absolutely. And I'll have I won't make him. I'll have Nick print it up because I don't have a printer.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I need to work on that too. I need to focus on my printing skills. That's something I haven't really worked on yet.
Yeah, I almost bought one a few months ago, and I didn't. I didn't end up getting it.
What made you not do it?
I don't know. There's a lot that went into it. The fact that you gotta, run it every day to keep the ink going and do little test sheets and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna ruin that thing.
There's a lot of maintenance to it.
Yeah, there's a ton of maintenance to it. So yeah, I watched a lot of videos on it, and I was like, not right now. I'll wait. And I have dogs too, so it'd be clogged with fur and everything else.
Yeah. Dude, I had to learn like the hard way with my two dogs because I have a room set up for my dioramas that I do all my work and toy photography in. And initially I had them, come in, lay down with me and like, lay on the floor while I'm working. And I realized within a day, I was like, okay, this is not going to work because I was seeing hair on everything. I was like, get the heck out of here. So I had to like vacuum and like clean the
Yep.
room. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can totally sympathize.
That's exactly how all my stuff is. Yep.
It's frustrating because like you love them and like they know they can't help it. Like they're just doing their thing, but the hairs is going everywhere.
Yep. Yep. I have one that's definitely sheds a lot more than the other one. There's her fur's everywhere.
I got one dog. My dog, the boy, his name is Striker, and his fur is like almost like needles. Like it's so like dense
Yeah,
and painful. Like when it like I've literally stubbed my toe on some of his fur laying on the ground. Like
that's
I
crazy.
screamed in pain. Yeah, it's insane. It's nuts. So I have some questions from the 112 Collective feature page for you, man. Um, got some interesting thoughts from some people, so I'm gonna throw these at you, see what you think.
Awesome.
Stop motion kid underscore YT ask you, what are your thoughts on the Supreme Knight Batman? And do you think it's an updated Dark Knight Returns? That's from Mezco.
I actually didn't see that until we were talking about it, and then I looked it up, and I do think that a little bit. He's got it's a little bulky. The suit's definitely upgraded. But I think he's cool in terms of if you can't, find a Dark Knight Returns Mezco, or don't want to spend the crazy money that people ask for him. He That's definitely an option. I think he
Mm.
looks really cool. It comes with a lot of awesome accessories too.
Yeah, he does. He looks amazing. I think I don't think he's an updated Dark Knight Returns.
Right, right.
But I do think that they're trying to revisit that look and
Yeah,
it's their own version. Like, cause like when they first did The Dark Knight Returns, like that was almost like a frame for frame like remake from that cartoon, that comic run.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, and I think if you can't get that, this is definitely a good option. I mean, he fits that style definitely.
Yeah. I think that's like I guess what he's asking is like Mezco really hasn't done like a their own like when I guess when the only thing I can think of is their movie stuff. Like they do it, they try to make as accurate as possible within their own 112 version. But like when they ever do their comic stuff, like their comic stuff nowadays is all their own style. Like it's something they created.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I want to say The Dark Knight Returns was more not their own style, but it was more like trying to recreate the comic as much as possible. But
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I would love to see that re-release, by the way. I want them to see like I want to see them do the Joker. I had heard on a podcast with him with Mez that they actually have like uh all of the prototypes for the Joker from that comic, The Dark Knight
Oh,
Returns.
that would be sweet.
Yeah, that'd be
That would
really
be sweet.
cool.
I only have the one Joker.
Yeah, he's a crazy looking Joker. He's like huge. He's like bulky and he's
Yeah.
got this crazy haircut.
Yep.
That'd be an interesting figure. All right,
Absolutely.
so we got another question by underscore infinite posabilities. He asks, what are the top accessories that you wish your favorite toy lines would provide?
I'm not too sure, but I do wish that a lot of toy lines would include maybe some accessory kits where you could just kind of buy some guns or some hands or, weapons, where you just had the option to, like, maybe purchase a kit of however many they sold, um, and, it could be, I don't know, $40 and just comes with a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Since then they re-released the Iron Giant with 1,000 toys, from 1,000 toys, and, I think the only things that are different are the head and the arm gun, and I wish that they gave people the option that already owned that figure, an option to buy just the head and the gun. I think that
Yeah.
would be really cool. Kinda like, NECA does that with, like, their accessory packs. They do it a lot with, Pennywise. There's, like, a trillion, Pennywise accessory kits, and, I think that'd be cool with, like, Mezco or, I know Hot Toys has kinda started doing that with Iron Man. I know they're crazy money, but they'll sell, like, the accessory kits for Iron Man that come with a bunch of cool things. I think that'd definitely be a way to make money on some figures that maybe you've already sold or sold out that you offer now some new, upgrades for.
I agree, man. I definitely think that's something that the market is missing. It's a big hole, and we can always get third party stuff, but it's fun when you get stuff that's specifically designed for those characters and those figures. Like
Absolutely.
Mezco could do, I'm just thinking brainstorming here. Mezco could do like a Batman, one size fits all for like the Sovereign or the Ascending and the upcoming uh Supreme, and just
Right.
basically just give, like, tons of extra accessories that were never included in any of the other releases and just do, like, just fun stuff, man. Like, there's so many gadgets that you could do, and you could it's not I imagine it's not expensive to make those tiny little pieces. I think the most expensive part is the figure and the cloth
The
goods and
accessories.
the tailoring, and so,
Yep.
like, producing those tiny little pieces, it's just kinda like extra icing on the cake, and they could probably make decent profits from doing something like that, I would think.
Right.
But
Or even like the DX Punisher, that the deluxe edition. Like, I would
mhm,
love if they made maybe like a wall where you could hang all those guns that came with it up on,
mhm.
like just kind of like a dio piece that you could use. I think that would be really sweet because it would aid in, you know, shots. It would also be a cool way to just, they don't give you very many options to like display the figure. So I think it would be cool if they did something like that. That would be awesome.
That would be I've got some really good references for you for if you want, like, a dio made for stuff like that for people that do amazing stuff.
Nice.
Um, House of M, he asks, "What are your top 3 favorite subjects?" I'm thinking he means figures to shoot.
Man, that changes, you know, almost weekly, monthly. But if I had to pick, a top line would definitely be Mezco for me. I like the size and the scale of everything. And from those, I would say that my favorites would be my Punisher, any of the Spider-Mans I have. I love to shoot those. And that Dark Knight Returns is way up there for me in terms of subjects that I like shooting. And ways that I like shooting them, I like darker photos. You can see that in a lot of my work. And then, I definitely like to try and do them in a, kind of a darker vibe. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. But yeah, those figures for me are some of my favorites. It's funny that I like darker stuff, but, like, I included Spider-Man in there.
Hey, you can get dark sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, Spider-Man's up there for me, the Punisher, and, from non-Mezco, toys, I definitely like to shoot, Iron Giant quite a bit, and, looking at my shelf right now, I'm trying to see if anything pops out at me that I really like to shoot. I'd say that's it, probably my Mezcos and then not from them. The, 1,000 Toys Iron Giant's always up there for me.
Yeah, I've got that figure on my wish list. He looks amazing. I agree with you what you said earlier. Like the people that got that first edition, they do need to do like a little accessory kit to be able to get that alternate arm and the head.
Yeah,
And
I had it on pre-order. I actually canceled it because I was like, I'm buying the same figure for just an arm and a head. Like
mhm,
somebody will park that out on eBay and I'll give them my money.
yeah, I don't know if it's able to be like, can you detach the arm? Like that's the only thing
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Like, can you?
Yeah, you can, I think you can. I got them right here. I'm walking over and getting them. I know the legs come off. Um, yeah, yep, the arm pulls out.
Okay, so it'd be an easy swap. You could just
Yeah.
pop that off.
Yep, the head pops off and all that. And I think I was telling you before, I like these figures because this Iron Giant, if you like overextend his arm or his legs, except at the wrist joint and the
Mhm.
D joint, that it actually just separates from the body. So there's no way you can break them in those spots. And for me, those are the most um those areas of a figure I've it's where I've broken the most figures.
Yeah, for sure. The last question comes from Tesla SBIC. I don't know how to, Tesla's big. I don't even know. Okay, so he asks, what theme do you think Mezco will do next with Gomez? And what theme would you like to see personally?
I'm not sure what they'll do with Gomez. I've been surprised by all of them after the street version. I mean the secret agent version that came out. That was the one that I got was able to get my hands on. I don't have any other ones. I wish I could have gotten them all. But I've been kind of surprised by all the ones that have popped up. I think that they do a great job with that figure, and anything would surprise me, and I'd be happy to have any of them really.
Yeah, me too. I think Mezco is like, this is their like attempt at making like a civilian type, custom body. So like a lot of people I see use this for civilians, or they'll pop Gomez head off and they'll put like another head cast on
Yep.
and use that as a civilian, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I just wish the price point wasn't so extravagant. Like I wish like for a
Right.
civilian, because Gomez, they're not paying any royalties, like they're not paying any type of licensing fees to be able to produce this, which I understand. Like this is kind of like a cash grab where they're able to use this property of Gomez, which is their character.
Yep.
I just wish the price point was like around $60, like because then you could kind of army build a lot easier. But when
Yep.
you got like 80, 90 bucks, it's hard to army build with that. But
Sure. The only thing I would say in the maybe the defense of that price is that he does come with a ton of accessories
he
already,
does.
which is cool. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that they could definitely maybe drop the price on that, or maybe offer a version that's just the figure that doesn't come with as many accessories. That way
Yeah.
you could just kind of buy a body, or offer a. I know there's a lot of I think Figuarts does it where you can buy one of their bodies for like, $30, $20, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Which is cool if you wanted to dress that in a certain way, or, paint it up however, do I think that would be cool if you could do that with like a Gomez, where you could kind of maybe build your own, where you could buy a body, buy the clothing you wanted on it, buy the accessories that it came with, and kind of just build one. That I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really good idea. That'd be cool if they did like an army builder version, and maybe they could even do like uh, a Kickstarter or something. I know they're like probably that's not even on their radar, but if they wanted to
Yeah.
do just to kind of see if the would be worth doing. But
Right. One of the things I'd love to see from Mezco is I know they did what they do. They did Michael Myers, they did Jason Voorhees. I would love to see them do like a Shining run of like Jack and Wendy and maybe the girls and Danny. I think that would be really cool. And I know they did a little tease with The Shining not that long ago, and they did one of those dolls, those 10-inch. I forget what they're called. I don't have any of them, but
the Living Dead dolls,
yeah, they did one of those, and I was so bummed. I thought there was going to be a Jack coming out, and
they'll
you know,
do it. They'll do it. Just give him time. He'll get around to it.
yeah, I would love to see that from them. That's one
So
of
the
my favorite
the
movies.
thing that Mezco, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine.
The thing that Mezco, when I heard on his that one podcast that I referenced to a lot because I learned a lot on that podcast. Which, if you want to check that out, go to the Hot Toy Cast with with Mez. It's a couple months ago, or maybe it's even a year ago. Um, he references to what his mindset is about releasing figures. Like he doesn't want to over tax his, I guess not overtax. What did he say? He said he doesn't want to like overwhelm his customer base like with tons of pre-orders because he knows that some people only collect Marvel, some people only collect DC, some people only collect the horror stuff. And so he tries to like limit it like to like, a certain number of releases per year.
Yeah, and I do
And
like that. I like that they do that.
yeah, they're very good about that. And so that way you don't get like, oh man, I want, this, that, and the other. Like, I mean, if you wanted to get every single one, it definitely could break the bank for sure. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it would be easily break the bank, but I think they do a good job. Hopefully they'll kind of expand the line. I'm excited to see what they do next year for Toy Fair, and I know it's only going to get bigger and better as Mezco becomes this massive entity that it already is. But
Yeah. Yep, that's one thing I don't like about Hot Toys is they'll drop like 10 Spider-Mans all at once, and it's like, well, I kind of want all of them.
yeah,
And there's no way I'm getting all of them. So it's like, which one do I pick? Where
yeah.
they'll drop all the Spider-Mans, and then they'll give you like, a few different Iron Mans all at the same time. And it's like, damn.
Yeah, it's rough being a Hot Toys collector. It
Yeah.
definitely is. It's another echelon of person.
Yeah, I do like though their pre-order program though. It's pretty cool. Like if you do pre-order a
Mhm.
few, they don't come out for a while after the pre-order. And the way they set it up is you do like you can do like a payment plan. But what I do is the payments are usually like three right towards the end by when the figure's released. But I'll actually sign on and throw like 5, $10 at it like every couple weeks. And by the time it comes out, I've already paid it off and I haven't really missed the $5 or $10 I've been thrown at it that much. So that's
Nice.
pretty cool. I do like that.
I didn't even know they could do that.
Yeah, I sign right on or I call and I'll just throw whatever I want at it, which is nice to be able to do that because then
Huh.
if you got an extra $5 and you just want to pay this figure off before it comes out, then that's a cool way to be able to do it.
That's pretty savvy. I've never thought of that. That's cool. I think like going back to the Mezco thing, like my wish, one of my wishes that the property that they would dive into is Indiana Jones. And I know
Yes.
he's a
Yes.
he's a massive Indiana Jones fan. And so I'm hoping with this new movie they're gonna get some sort of license deal. And if they
I'm a
do,
right. I'm a massive Indiana Jones fan myself. I Indiana Jones was one of the movies that got me into collecting and like nerd culture back in the day. My grandfather and my uncle used to watch it all the time. Every weekend I'd sleep over there and we'd watch it.
it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
And just having like all of that depth of cast you could go into like for fun exclusives like because I know like Indiana Jones himself would be like a main release and then they could do like a Mezco exclusive and just have like just some of the main cast. It'd be
Yep.
so cool, man.
Yeah. It'd be awesome. It'd be so awesome. Another thing I'd like them to get into is vehicles. I think Mezco would do really well with adding some vehicles into their line.
They're still working on that Batmobile. It's still coming. I know the last time I heard, I watched a YouTube video and a guy talked to him, and they're still working on it. I don't know when. The way that they do things with Mezco is they make sure everything is perfect before they start the pre-order process. Like they
Yeah.
make sure that that prototype and all of the production is just 100%. And he does not have like a specific time frame that he has to get it done by. Like he just wants it to be if it takes him an extra 6 months or a year to get it right,
Right.
he'll take that time.
Yeah.
And
I
that
appreciate that. That's what you want out of a
yeah.
company.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he definitely I think he does get kinda stressed out about it, but at the same time, like, he's so, uh, anal about his stuff, man. He just wants it to be right. He wants it to not break. I think it really broke his heart whenever that Catwoman figure had a lot of issues when it released. I think that was the only one that I've heard within the last year or 2 that had a lot of problems was
Oh,
with
I
the
did. Yeah, I didn't hear about
Catwoman.
any of that. Yeah, I didn't get that.
You
Oh
didn't
no,
hear about that?
no, I didn't hear about it.
So what happened was whenever it released, there was a lot of issues with the legs breaking whenever like people would get it. and they would either open it and either the legs would already be broken, or just by trying to bend them in a normal fashion, it would just snap, like the legs would
Wow.
break.
Damn.
And yeah, it was a lot of issues with that. And I think that was a big frustration for Mez. But
Now, was it the paint?
no, it wasn't the paint applicator, because it was the leg underneath that cloth
Oh, I got you.
jumpsuit. It's like a
Yeah.
jumpsuit for Catwoman. I think what it was is that peg, or maybe it was the way that the glue dried. I don't know. I'm speculating. I have no idea how he does how they do their figures, but I want to say that either like the joint itself is so small, because that was like such a small frame on that
Yeah.
body,
Yeah. Real thin figure.
real thin figure, and so like figure arts are amazingly tiny joints, and they're
Yep.
so tight, and they're able to like articulate, not be able to break them. And I think Mezco is having to learn that kind of process. But yeah, it was frustrating for a lot of people. I never picked up that Catwoman figure, but eventually I'll get a deal on it, and you can get both of them, the exclusive and the regular release, fairly cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know, who was it? Acid Rain had a problem with the paint that they used on the joints. That's why I asked that. I didn't know, but
Mm.
and you could get arms and legs that were snapping until they figured it out and fixed that. I only have a few of their figures, but yeah, I was lucky enough to get it after they fixed that problem.
Yeah, I I I feel bad for the people that got them and paid full price, and then busted and had to get replacements. That's frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
That's not you never want that to happen.
no, no, you really don't. Let's take a quick break, and we'll get right back to the Toy Photographers Podcast with Justin Pierce. Stay right there. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Justin Pierce episode of the Toy Photographers Podcast. We have some incredible questions to be able to ask you, Mr. Justin. Thank you so much, man, for being on the show. And I just want to say, anytime you want to come back on, just let me know, man. I've been loving this conversation.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that. I'm so pumped you had me on.
Dude, it's been great. I love this question, and this is something that I feel like you probably have an answer for, so I'm going to ask it. So, do you have a bucket slash grail shot that you haven't done yet? And do you want to share it?
That's actually a tough question. I've been thinking about that for a little while. Um, and I can't put my finger on one, but if I had to say, like, a shot that like, a grail shot for me would be, like, if I posted something that was good enough to have, like, maybe, like, the actor who played the character repost it or something along those lines.
Oh,
I know it's
wow.
kind of a weird thing to say, but, like, I don't know. I haven't thought about, like, what's a shot, I'd really wanna do that's, like, an end all be all shot, but, like, I definitely think having somebody that played, like, let's say, Robert Downey Jr. repost, like, an Iron Man shot you did, or, like, even his story or something cool like that, or even liked it. I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be sick, dude. I've never had that happen, but just
No, me neither.
knowing that Hawk Kenobi, and the fact that you got started with Hawk Kenobi, he gets reposted by Robert Downey a lot.
All the time, yeah.
And it's possible. It's definitely within realm of possibility. That would be
Yeah.
so cool.
It'd definitely be cool. That's the only thing I could think of for that right now, but that might change. Maybe I'll pull a Grail shot out of there someday.
That's awesome, dude. I don't have one yet either, but I'm always curious to see what would be the grail shot. Like, what's the bucket shot that you're been dreaming of? And it's probably for me a Batman shot that I just haven't decided on yet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Are you a big Batman fan?
I'm not a huge Batman fan, no.
What's your favorite Marvel character and DC character?
Favorite Marvel character, probably be Punisher. I love the Garth Ennis run of, Punisher Max.
Nice.
I did like the Netflix, show as well. And then DC character, it would probably definitely be Batman for a favorite DC character. I haven't read a ton of the Batman comics. I do have quite a few. I've read quite a few, but just not enough.
Have you read some of the Jeff Loeb stuff?
I don't think so.
Have you read The Long Halloween?
Yes, I have that. Is that
Okay,
him?
well, Jeff Loeb, I would look into reading any of Scott Snyder's stuff. Have you read any of Scott Snyder
Yeah, I have that whole run.
of the New 52 stuff?
Yep, yep.
And then also the All-Star Batman run that he did on the Rebirths. I really enjoyed that too. And Tom King, another amazing Batman that it's from the Rebirth too, just came out. I recommend Tom King, Scott Snyder, Jeff Loeb. So
Nice.
that's my Batman.
I'll check some of those out. Man, I'm a little bigger into I have a ton of superhero, anti-hero, DC, Marvel graphic novels, but I always end up going back to like creator owned stuff. Like some Vertigo stuff, a lot of Image comics I like a lot.
Really?
Yeah, that's the stuff I mainly read, like Brian K. Vaughan. I love his like Why the Last Man was awesome, Saga was awesome. Jeff Lemire with I liked his Animal Man run, but I like Sweet Tooth. Roughneck was a really good one. Royal City's been really good. I read a lot of those.
That's so interesting because I've never branched out, and I think maybe I need to.
Yeah, once I did, man, I never really looked back. Like I'll go back to a book like, Punisher Max or something like that every now and again. But yeah, I really, really like the creator owned stuff.
That's so cool. Do you prefer to read comics like in the physical form or do you read them on your phone?
It's funny. I used to read them solely in the physical form, and I looked down so hardly at like the like comicsology and stuff.
Yeah.
And over the years, it just transitioned to where like picking up a physical copy of a book that I have and reading that is like a treat. Like I always just read on my phone now.
That's so cool. I love the DC app. I don't know if Marvel does it the same way. Or maybe I'm thinking of Marvel. There's one like the way that they transition, like it's the frame by frame and you can swipe.
Yes.
I love that, dude. For
Yeah.
me, like okay, so I'm terrible at looking at like when I flip the page on a comic book, I'll look towards do you do this when you look towards the right and see what's gonna happen before you read the
Yeah.
first
You get huge spoilers.
yeah,
It's
spoilers,
right
man. It's
there.
like I can't not do it. It's like I
Right.
love the frame by frame, and I think for me, being that person, it works for me.
Yeah. Absolutely, I do love that. That's what actually kept me reading on my phone was just that frame by frame. I have I think it's Comixology on my phone, and yeah, I love going to that and reading books. I reread a lot of books for some reason. Like I haven't got like a new graphic novel or started a new series in a while. I always end up going back to like stuff I've already read. Like I usually in the fall, like I reread this book by Jason Aaron, Jason Latour, Southern Bastards. It's like this football crime, like murder mystery type
Huh.
book. It's actually really awesome. I read it, yeah, ever since it came out. I've read it every year consistently during the fall. I don't
It's
know
a
why.
it's a graphic novel.
Yeah, it comes in a yeah, you can get it in a like a deluxe collector's edition. I think it has like 8 issues to each deluxe, or you can get it like individual issues. I think if you have Comixology, it's on unlimited, so you could actually just read through maybe the first 8. I don't know how many they're up to now. I think it's like 18 or 19. They took huge breaks during writing the book. I remember one time, I forget which issues it was between, but it was almost a year break between issues.
Wow,
'Cause they were both doing other books, and, I guess I don't know if it just wasn't priority, but it's a really awesome book. I like it a lot.
that's cool. I got to check that out. By the way, I just remembered another Batman run that you need to check out. Have you read the Dark Knight's Metal stuff yet?
No.
Okay, so it's super out there. Like it's very fantasy-ish. But if you're willing to go down the Wild Dragon ride, it is series going off. Um, it's amazing. Like Dark Knight's Metal is 10 out of 10 for me. It is so outlandish, so not like the regular Batman stuff you've seen, but
Dark Knight's Metal?
Dark Knight's Metal. And the premise of it, for those who have not read Dark Knight's Metal, is there is a dark multiverse. So everybody knows there's a multiverse, right? There's like an Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, blah, blah, blah. But there's a dark version of the multiverse. So the dark multiverse, there's all of these versions of Batman that they go evil, they go insane, they go crazy and kill everybody. And it's like so what happens is each world of the dark multiverse, there's a Batman who turns evil and ends up destroying the world and like just devastating it and becomes this like ultimate, bad guy. And then there's this creature, like I want to say it's like the Joker dragon or something that connects all these Batmans together and tries to like get the Batmans from the dark multiverse to go to the light multiverse. And so he connect and it's super crazy. So he gets all these Batman together and they enter like the core DC multi like regular universe and they all come to like take over and it's like just all hands on deck. Like it's every hero trying to fight all of these crazy Batman. Like it's insane. It's so good.
See, I'm definitely sold on that.
It is so good. Like I remember reading it and getting goosebumps. I never get goosebumps reading comics. I was just like, this is nuts. And it connects a lot of the Scott Snyder stuff because Scott Snyder, I think, co-wrote it. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I'm gonna get a little notepad going here.
All right, so the Dark Knight's Metal, they have like a lot of like backstories. So you can go and read the backstory of each Batman that became that version of the Dark Batman. So you can
Oh, that's
read,
cool.
yeah. So like there's side stories. So there's a lot to it. Like they've done a lot with that. And like the main evil Batman is called the Batman Who Laughs, and what it is kind of like a Jokerized version of Batman. So he goes crazy and he ends up killing Alfred and all of these guys and starts like I think he gets exposed to the Joker venom or the Joker toxin and he becomes like this Jokerized Batman and it's just he's got like Damian Wayne's and stuff like on these like leashes and he's just it's insane. Like it's so good.
That sounds awesome. Actually, I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Check out that. Check out Dark Knight's Metal. So transitioning back to toy photography real quick. What do you think the action figure slash toy photography community like? What do we need to focus on? Just you being a toy photographer, doing it for a couple years, and I know you've seen the community. I know you love the community. What do we need to focus on to get better as photographers, and how can we improve this already awesome community?
I think just positivity, man. Like, if that's what you mean, like,
Yeah, you could just say mic drop after that. That's like,
yeah, no, I think that that goes a long way. Like, because I mean, even if like you look at things in a positive way, things seem more positive. If you look at things in a negative way, everything seems more negative. So it's
yeah.
like you put definitely put a little bit of positivity into stuff and just focus on like getting better if that's what you want to do. Yeah, focus on you and I don't know, maybe yeah, just getting better. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the person to I don't know, tell people what to focus on. I don't know. I feel a little weird about that one.
That's all right, man. I think positivity goes a long way, and especially when we have a community sometimes on Instagram that can become toxic, and it can get toxic quick.
Right.
Um, and a lot of people like to hide behind their keyboards and
Yeah.
start things, and that's not what
The
I
one thing
personally. Go
the
ahead.
one
Go
thing
ahead.
the one thing I gotta say about that definitely is in this community, I haven't experienced any of that with any of the people I've really talked to. I haven't had a negative experience with anybody. For the most part, I think most of the people are pretty positive, which I actually really enjoy about the community. I know it exists, negativity in people, but I don't know if it exists um, as much and maybe I just don't see it. Maybe just like I said before, if you focus on positive things, you don't really see the negative stuff. And that's what I mean, I try and do. Um, but yeah, nothing really negative that has ever come my way. Now probably will.
That's awesome, dude. I really have to agree with you. I have had maybe one or two negative things happen, and they've been so minor, it's not even really worth bringing up. Like,
Right.
I absolutely love this community too, and that's one of the things that kind of kept me in it and kept me doing it was the positivity, was the support, was the people out there commenting and liking and just being genuine and liking your stuff. And it's something that it doesn't happen a lot. I feel like in a lot
Yeah.
of communities, like everybody's like trying to like beat each other and and get better, like in other realms like sports. But
Yeah.
here it's like, no, it's like we are actually a community. If you
Right.
have questions, we will, of course, we'll help you out. We're genuine. Like we're not trying to like hoard all the knowledge. Like
Oh,
every
absolutely.
yeah, like I want people to realize like exactly what you said. It is what you see it. Like if you see the glass is half full or half empty, that's what it's going to be. That's your
Yeah.
reality.
Absolutely. Everybody that I've ever asked for help with a shot or how to maybe do something or what I could do differently, has always helped me out. And I've tried to repay that by anybody that sends me, a DM, whether I follow them or not, and they ask me a question, I always respond back to them and try and help them in the, best way that I can. Sometimes I just don't know, but if I know and, I can help you via, a message, I try and do that with everybody that messages me.
What's your views on healthy living, exercise, etc.? Like, are you someone that focuses on that? Like,
Yep.
what's your paradigm?
Yep. I think that's super important. I work out try to work out every day, but I don't usually miss a day. Every now and again, I'll take a break. And like kind of what I mean by I don't go super hard every day. I just try and do something every day. So
Mhm.
like I'll like lifting. I lift 5 days a week: Monday, Tuesday, uh, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Wednesday and Sunday, I just do my run. I try and do like a run or a walk every day, 7 days a week. So at least I'm doing something. Especially on the weekends, I generally go for longer ones. Like I'll do, you know, 10, 13 miles on a Saturday morning, and then maybe like 6 miles on a Sunday, just because I'm not doing very much that day. And I try and get it out of the way early because those are the days that I like to spend shooting. And then, you got family stuff that comes up and things that you have to do. So I like to get that out of the way first thing and, then spend the rest of my day shooting and spending time with, family and stuff like that.
When did you get on a regimen like that? Has that been something you've been doing for a while?
I started lifting with no cardio at all. I didn't do any cardio. Um, I think I'm on my third, it's either my third or my fourth year. And I started off doing 3 days a week. And then I went to 4 days a week. And then I went to 5 days a week. And everybody's like, what are you doing? You shouldn't probably work out that hard. But that's when I started to actually see results. So I just kept doing that. And then I'd go from there. I went to 6 days a week. So I was like, I don't feel bad at 5 days a week. But I think something important to remember is like everybody's different. So like I might be able to do that, but you might not, or I might not be able to do like I don't lift heavy weights when I lift. Like I lift lighter weights for a ton of reps.
Mm.
Like I'll do two, three, four, 500 reps in a night. Like for
Whoa.
yeah, I usually do 4 sets of 25 of usually 3 to 4, sometimes 5 workouts depending on what body parts I'm doing that night. And then right after I'm done, I go for a run. I do that before I eat dinner every night, except on Wednesdays and Sundays. I just do the run or the walk.
That's awesome.
Give myself a little recovery, and then I plan my diet around it. Like if I'm doing heavier lifts, or I know I'm doing a body part where I'm going to do tons of reps, I'll eat a little bit more that day, or I'll eat a little bit more protein that day. I try and keep the carbs real low. I drink almost nothing but water. If you go to a party or whatever, it's different, but I don't drink any soda. I don't drink any juice. Don't drink any dairy, and that's pretty much my boring diet.
Are you a coffee guy? You drink coffee?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I drink 1 cup of coffee a day. I only have one, and it's black iced coffee every day. Just 1 cup in the morning.
Wow, that is
I'm also. I heard you talking. I forget who you were talking to about it. Maybe Tom. I also intermittent fast, and I know you're big into that.
nice, dude. That is sick.
I do that. Yeah, every day I do that. Whatever my. I usually eat dinner around 7:30, 8 o'clock because that's about when I'm getting back from my run, and I don't mind eating that late because I just got finished working. Um, so it doesn't, it works for me. And what was I saying?
You were talking about intermittent fasting.
Oh yeah. So with my last meals at like 7 or 8, I don't eat till lunch the next day, so about noon. And then I usually don't snack too hard during the afternoon. I might have some nuts or some peanut butter or whatever if I'm lifting something, doing a lot of reps at night, just for extra energy. But I actually feel like I have more energy with less calories in my body. I feel like intermittent fasting helps that out a lot.
It does, man, and that's that cellular autophagy, it's a crazy word, that happens whenever you starve yourself of food and your body stops digesting, and all of a sudden it can, work on other parts of your body that needs to be focused on. Otherwise, if you're always digesting food, then your
Yeah.
body can't really repair. It can't
Yeah.
focus on
Yeah.
the things that it needs to focus on. And that's what I love about intermittent fasting. I
Yeah.
actually
Me
got
too.
into it kind of by like accident. So I started working at a job, and I was working super early in the morning, and I'd go to work, and I'd have to go to bed at like, 7 or 8 o'clock. And then I'd go to work, and I just can't eat that early, man, like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I would just have like, I started out doing bulletproof coffee, which is like the butter
Yeah.
and
Butter coffee, right?
the
Yep.
butter coffee. I was doing that, and I was realizing I was getting so hungry about 6 o'clock. And so I was reading online somewhere. I was like, if you're doing intermittent fasting, don't do anything but just black coffee
Yeah.
in the morning. And that'll actually prevent you from getting hungry until about 10 a.m. And
Yep.
so I would do that. And so I wouldn't eat. And then it just kind of happened. And all of a sudden I was like, dude, I have so much energy. Like I see all
Mhm.
these people like pigging out.
Yep.
But normally I don't do anything. Just black coffee
Yeah.
and water until 10 a.m. And then I'll
Yeah.
eat until 6. Like that's my 8 hour window.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do eat a little later at night, just because I do, like, I work out when I get home. I usually get home at 6, and it's usually about a 2-hour workout with the lifting and the running combined, um so I don't mind actually eating that late just because I've just burnt all these calories off and my heart rate's up and everything like that, and I need them to, for energy the next day.
Gotcha.
So, like, yeah, I'll do that a little bit. Like, I don't really, limit to like, if I want a burger, like I said, I don't really eat, a lot of carbs, but, like, I know you were saying, you were telling me something about burgers earlier, when we were talking off this, and, I do the
Yeah.
same thing. I'll get, like, a bacon cheeseburger, I just won't get it on a bun,
Yeah.
just to keep the carbs down, and yeah, and I'll get it the way I want it, jalapenos and lettuce, onions, barbecue sauce with some, bacon on there, and yeah, it's a good meal.
So, like, for me, I do this thing now that I'll actually have, like, a carb up day, and I'll do, like, every 2 weeks, I'll just carb up. I'll just, like, carb up, like, just I'll do, like, quinoa or, like, some sourdough bread, or I'll do just a lot of carbs, and then I will, like, the next day, like, eat nothing, like, just literally fast the entire day, and
Right.
for me, that kinda, like, resets my system, and I feel like sometimes if you this is just for me and my body that I've noticed that if I go without carbs and a lot of, starchy stuff, my, my bowel movements are, like, pretty rough. So, like, I have to, like, get some carbs in, like, every couple weeks, and then all of a sudden, like, levels me out, and I'm
Yeah,
good. But
yeah,
otherwise, I'll be, like, just, like, crap in water. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I know this is getting a
absolutely.
little intense, but,
We all do it.
yeah, we all do it. Everybody poops.
Exactly.
Do you have any favorite foods, man, now we're talking about poop?
Favorite
Yeah.
foods. Actually, yeah, I do, and I don't eat it often, but I like venison a lot.
Ooh.
I like venison a lot. I don't know if you've ever had it.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I actually used to hunt.
Yeah, I haven't, ever hunted, nothing against it. I just don't have anywhere to put a freezer. Other than that, I probably would, because I really like venison. And I've had some weird stuff too. I've had, like, alligator jerky.
Mm.
That was pretty
Mm.
good. Had boar. I think the wild game's definitely better, and you feel better after you eat it a little bit.
I agree. I agree. I love deer meat. Like, I think if I could just choose, like, 2 or 3 proteins and just stay with that the rest of my life, deer would be one of those. Like, I that's how
Yeah.
much I love deer.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think
Bison too. Have you tried bison?
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bison burgers are awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, I love that.
I
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
got,
yeah.
lucky. I never really go for the bison burgers because 'cause they're a little bit expensive, and I
Yeah.
normally just get, like, the grass-fed beef, at Kroger, but they had some bison burgers that were, like, clearanced out, like, half price, and I bought, like, a ton of them, and I
Yeah.
just, like, just pounded the bison burgers for, like, a week. It was so
Yeah,
good.
bison's awesome. I love how lean it is too.
It is super lean, super tasty. I love bison.
Yeah, we actually this month we did, just kind of my wife and I, we tried to, challenge ourselves a little bit, so we decided that we were gonna give up meat for the month, and, I lasted 21 days, and then
Whoa.
I had to eat some. My workouts, man, like, some of my lifts were dropping by, like, 20 to 30 pounds.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was eating carbs because, I mean, I wasn't eating any real protein other than, I'd throw some peanut butter in there and have, beans and stuff like that and nuts,
Yeah.
but it wasn't enough. So yeah, I felt really good actually the first week. Felt pretty good the second week, and then that third week, man, everything just like fell apart. I was like, I need to eat some protein. I don't know if that was just mental or if it was actually like my body needed it.
Probably a little both, I would think.
But yeah, I got sick of that real quick.
The thing, like I'm not like anti-vegetarian or anti because I respect it. And there are people that like genuinely have like allergies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
From my from my personal diet, like I love like animal products and I love, being able to eat those things. Like for me, like what I do if I don't have meat, my wife and I, we do the bone broth, where we have like a chicken bone broth or we'll do like a beef bone broth. And that helps like with the hunger, man. Like if you're just like, say like you're just wanting to lose weight and you're wanting to like get fit, like just take like 2 days out of the week and just do bone broth all day.
oh,
Oh my, you'll shed the weight. Like it'll
right,
just fly off you.
all right, yep.
And it keeps you full because it's got those amino acids and it's got that really healthy fat.
Hmm.
Um, but we're gonna turn into a health podcast if we're not careful.
Yeah, exactly. And at least we're healthy though.
Hey, we
Sounds like
try.
the majority of us are eat pretty well and stay active, so that's good. We're not just sitting around playing with toys all day.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to kind of I wanted to include these segments is because I want people to see like, okay, there's more to us than just
Right.
taking figures and posing them and, posting
Yeah.
shots. There's more to us than that. We're a little more three-dimensional.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you have any tips for people that are just starting out doing toy photography? Like, since you're relatively new at this, not at photography, but at toy photography, like looking back, like what would you say, if you just started out, what would you say to yourself?
Take your time. Give your 100%, but don't really think that, your 100% today is going to be what your 100% is a week or a month or a year from now. You're going to get better. Just take your time and focus on um focus on doing the best you can with what you have. I mean, you don't need like crazy cameras and crazy lights and all that. I mean, it helps, definitely helps, but you don't need that to get started. You can do some really good stuff with even just a cell phone, and everybody's got one of those. Actually, Alexander Richardson, man, that kid did amazing work with a cell phone. I don't know if you know him, right?
I do.
He was using a cell phone for a long, long time, and I had upgraded my camera, and I actually got a hold of him, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna give you my old camera. It was like 10 years old, beat up. It was like 10 megapixel, 10, 12 megapixel, but it didn't matter. It got him, using a camera as well. But yeah, his stuff was so good with a cell phone. I was like, I gotta get this kid a camera. I gotta just give him this camera.
That's awesome, man. That is so cool. I love that story. Yeah, he's got some amazing stuff, dude.
Awesome.
I, I love his stuff. I don't think I've reposted his Mezco stuff in a while, but that is cool. I didn't know that he was using a phone too.
Yeah, he was using an iPhone, I think like 5 for the longest time, or a 6. I forget what it was. But yeah, he was using a cell phone to get a lot of his shots, and they were coming out just as good, if not better than a lot of stuff with cameras. And I was so impressed by that. I was like, dude, I can't sell this camera because it's super old. Nobody's gonna buy it. I was like, I'll just give it to him. Then he gets to at least to learn on something. It was a
Wow.
15-year-old like Canon something or other. I forget which one it was.
When did you give it to him? Because I'm trying to see like when was the time that he started shooting with that?
It was over, I think, the winter. I forget if it was this winter. I think it was this past winter, like a year ago.
Okay.
It was somewhere around there.
Okay. I'm scrolling down. I'm trying to see like when the transition happened.
You probably won't because he was so good with the cell phone.
Wow.
He was really, really good with the cell phone. It was crazy. Like I couldn't believe he was using a cell phone.
Yeah, I can't either. Like that's
And
amazing.
And that just goes to show you, like, you don't need to go out and, like, spend a bunch of money on a camera. You can focus on just doing really good stuff with whatever camera you have available to you and, whatever lights you have available to you. I don't know if we were mentioning it on here or before we started recording, but, like, I used to use little flashlights that I had around, my apartment or, like a lamp. You could just, put a white piece of paper over it to diffuse it, or you can get, like, tissue paper, put, like, a red piece of tissue paper over it. Now you got a red gel in your photo as long as it doesn't get too hot and you don't burn your place down.
That is awesome. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with just the little things you have around your house, like that you already have. Like if you just look at it from a different perspective and say, okay, what could I use? And there's stuff all around your house that you're like, maybe you don't even consider it could be used for toy photography. I love to
Right.
look at one of my favorite guys who does really innovative stuff is Plastic Snaps. He
Yep.
does
Yep.
a lot of the ACBA stuff, and
Yep.
he always shows his setups and like how he does his stuff. I'm amazed at the stuff that he does with like practical, and that guy blows my mind. Like if anybody needs some inspiration, go look up Plastic Snaps.
I'd like to start doing that more too, doing behind the scenes. I always forget. Like, I tried to do them, and I always end up either taking stuff down that was in the shot before I'm like, "Oh, I wanted to do a behind the scenes for that," because I think it definitely really helps people. I know I've learned a ton from, like, Jax's behind the scenes and Nose Rain's, Richie's behind the scenes stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, and, like, anything else too with tips. Like, I've had people DM me and have specific questions about stuff I do in my shots. Like if I forget to post it behind the scenes, which I do, I forget all the time. Somebody does have a question about something that I'm doing, I have no problem answering questions. So feel free.
That is awesome. I have learned so much from you just through this conversation. So I feel like now that you've kind of gotten aware of it, I think you're going to start doing it. It's such an addicting thing doing behind the scenes too. And I think Nose Ring was the person that got me, Richie, he got me into it, seeing his behind the scenes and just how detailed the shots and how the length that he goes for his shots too. It's amazing.
Yep, yep, and then, like, even getting together with somebody that does it or has an interest in it. Like I said, like, I've shot with Nick Shakem 78, and, he'll do something a little bit different than maybe I would do it, and you learn from, like, how this person's doing it a totally different way, and they're getting a completely different result, and then you can kinda add that to your bag of tricks, and it helps out. And sometimes it's trial and error. If you don't know how to do something, maybe try it, and you might find that, it creates some other effect that you like.
Failure is the pathway to progress, man. It really
Hell yeah.
is. Dude, thank you so much, Justin, for coming on the show. I'm gonna open up the mic to you, man. I really just want to let you kind of say whatever you want to say to the people that follow you, or just whatever you want to say, man.
I guess just, I don't really know. I don't really know what to say. I don't really know. It's kinda
You don't have to say anything.
yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Just thank you for, following me and liking my stuff, and, I hope to continue to get better, and like I said, anybody has any questions about stuff, I'm more than happy to help out, if I can, if I can answer your question, and, yeah, just stay positive, look at things positively, and keep posting. That's the most important thing. Just keep shooting, keep posting your stuff, take your time with it, and, good things happen eventually. Like I was saying to you, man, I'm still not a giant fan of like the stuff I do. I always look back and see flaws in my stuff, and I think that's good. I think if you see flaws in your stuff, it enables you to improve and learn. So yeah, definitely, just keep doing it. That's the biggest part. Have fun.
There it is, folks. Mic drop right there by Mr. Justin Pierce. I love it. Dude, I cannot wait to see the stuff that's going to come from your account in the next like couple years. I know just knowing like the level of detail and attention that you put into your stuff, I can't wait to see what you got coming next, man. So thank you so much once again for coming on the show, and tell everybody where they can get in contact with you. I know you're on Instagram. Is there anything else that you want to plug real quick?
No, I got nothing, man. I'm just on Instagram.
So you're at, what is it, at Justin
It's
dot Pierce?
no, it's at Justin underscore underscore Pierce Pierce.
Nice. And you can find me at Dagobah underscore days. You can find the Mezco 112 Collective feature page at 1.12.collective. And you can find the Toy Photographers podcast at Toy Photocast. So remember, everybody, we are storytellers. Get out there, tell your story, shoot some toys, have some fun, maybe eat a cheeseburger. I don't know.
Definitely eat a cheeseburger.
All right, guys. See you next episode. Bye.